Hello there everybody, the Hat Person here, and welcome back to another episode of Checkin Out. And so today, we're checking out IAVT Colorful. Look at this, this is actually a Japanese-only game. This is not available in the West, but hey, we have a lot of English text here. That tends to happen with a lot of games, so now there we go, taking you back here to the Vita. So this is a Vita exclusive rhythm game. There's a little icon here. As you can see, there's a lot of Japanese text because, yeah, you really don't have any choice. I imported this from where? Oh yeah, from Amazon, from some weird like Asian sites. They were hosting that, and so I ordered it. It took me forever. It took me absolutely forever to have my damn package arrive. But now it finally did, and I played like maybe 10 or 12 hours of it in the regular campaign, or like, you know, the regular like, you know, set list of songs, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. This is actually going to be reviewed over at the buttonsmashers.com, so go ahead and give that a read. And of course, just as always, the video, this Checkin Out video, will be coming with the written review that I will be providing for that website, and I will be leaving a link in the description. So, basically, what is IAVT Colorful? So, IA, first of all, a lot of people like to call her Ia, but, you know, it makes more sense to me when I say IA, because, you know, she's not real, she's an AI. She's a Vocaloid. Very similar to Hatsune Miku and all those other anime characters that you see in stuff like, oh, well, again, going back to the home screen. Very similar to this old gal right here, to Hatsune Miku from the Project Diva F games. And so, it's a very similar fashion. They're both rhythm games. Oh, reloading. Yeah, there we go. Giving me all that DLC stuff. So yeah, very similar to this. There's, you know, songs that you can play. They have videos in the background. You do a bunch of button presses to the rhythm of the music. Of course, all of those songs come from different artists that use the same software. And so, these are all from artists that use, freaking IA. And so IA is kind of like a more, kind of like an indie version of Miku, if you want to simplify it in such a way. And so this is a Japanese-only game, as you can tell by the, you know, the huge variety of Japanese text you see right here. Although this is not all that difficult to understand. That's a really good thing about this game. And so I think the best place to start off, I guess, would be the option screen. Let's see what you got. Or option, singular. And so, what do we got here? So I think here is actually the brightness of the videos that play in the background. So, when you're playing, very similar to stuff like Guitar Hero, and again, you know, Project Diva F, you have a video or a 3D rendered background in the background. And so, at the front, so you have the video here in the back, and then in the front you have this little circle. And with this little circle, you have this other tinier little circle, and that's where all of the little music notes are going to be landing on. So you have to make sure that it lands as close as you can to the center. And so obviously that's where you have to go into like being in rhythm and all that kind of stuff. And so pretty good. And so here, this is music volume. Change it, sound effect volume. I think this is sound effect volume. I put it halfway because, you know, whenever you do rhythm games, you always have like the little like tambourine sound that happens when you press a button and it gets a little annoying. So I just brought it down just so that I can barely hear it. We have auto-saving. You can turn auto-saving on or off. Or we also have the little UI here. As you can tell, the little black bars. You can change them to white bars if you want, you know, depending. I kind of like the black bars, that's fine. It looks a little bit stylish. Either way, it looks good. It's not all that intrusive. Also, here is the actual buttons. If you want to see, like, the little interface change around, you can change them into, like, little black line buttons. So this is the default. This is a different one. This is another. This is, like, transparent. These are, like, white. I kind of like this one. I like it because of the black little buttons right here. So I'm going to leave that. But if you press triangle, that actually returns things to their default settings, so I'm not going to do that. Of course, this is a Japanese title, so selecting things, you actually have to do it with the circle button. And canceling and going back to stuff is with X. So basically like how you would play a Super Nintendo game, so yeah. I mean, to me, I'm okay with this. I really don't have a lot of problems getting used to it because for one, I already play a lot of Japanese games as it is. And second, it just makes more sense to me. You know, the circle for confirming and the X for, you know, crossing out something for canceling. Let's get to data. And so my data is basically like my own stats. You know, like I've been playing this game for 10 hours and 17 minutes. That's my Japanese account, actually. THP JPN. Actually, is the Hat Person underscore JPN. I just kind of freaking abbreviated it right here. We have our little rankings here, our percentage of songs completed in IAVT Colorful. There's a total of 60 songs, and that does not even include the DLC, which I think is like 8 more songs in total, 8 or 12, I'm not sure. But there are a bunch of packs that you can buy, and they're not that expensive, I think. I mean, if you can go to places like PlayAsia, where you can get, you know, cards for PlayStation Network that are in yen, and if you have a Japanese account, you can go ahead and download them for this game, and yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, the huge majority of the soundtrack here is pretty good, but it does have its setbacks. And so you have, I think this little staircase thing is for leaderboards. Yeah, like 6%, 15. I'm not entirely sure what this means. Again, this is all in Japanese. I really am not sure what most of these things mean. Now, this little play button means how many songs you've played. Like, how many times you've played a song, I think. That's 87, 5, how many, like, perfects. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I kind of just need to, figure it out through the symbols. You also got the points. The total amount of points that you have, you can also see them right here in the corner. I am level 42 right now, so these points are basically experience points, and the more songs you play and the better you do, the more points you end up getting and you level up. And so leveling up basically unlocks more songs, unlocks more outfits, and of course gives you trophies as a prize. And of course, the trophies are in Japanese, so I have no idea what the hell all those mean. And so unlocks for the UI changes 100%. Outfits 72%, of course, as you might expect, very similar to Project Diva F as well. You can change up the clothing of your little Vocaloid character, although here you only have one rather than like the 6 that Project Diva F had. And that's fine, because it's focused on this one artist and this one like little thing. Now granted, most of the songs you're going to be playing are pre-recorded videos rather than 3D rendered backgrounds, so you actually very rarely get to see the outfits, which is kind of disappointing, but we'll get to that in a moment. And of course here, 66%. And all this, so yeah, just basically all of your unlockables, how much have you progressed through the game, how far are you to 100% completion, all that kind of stuff. So, track data. I think these are the leaderboards. Yeah, there we go. These are your personal leaderboards. So here are all of the songs, and all of the different difficulties, and here are all of the different rankings and max chains and all that kind of stuff that you've done right here locally. And so here are the ones for hard. Obviously, I haven't delved into easy at all. I went immediately into normal, beat it all the way there, and then on hard, I'm kind of on my way. And then, of course, you can like do organization options and all that kind of stuff with Square. Got the trophy list. You can take a look at all of the different trophies that you've gotten. There are a lot, and a lot of them are fairly challenging. Now, of course, all of these, I had to look them up to take a look at what they mean. Some of them are pretty obvious, like reach level 10, or, get, 1,000 points, or get 10,000 points, or whatever. This one, welcome, you get it just by starting the game. This one's by beating the game on normal. I'm assuming all these other ones are by beating the game on easy, hard, or, just, and then beating it on all 3 difficulties. That kind of stuff. There's no online mode, per se. It's more, anything that's related to online or just the leaderboards. You can go online and see who, all of those people that are doing so much better than you, than you. And so you click on this, and this just saves the game. Staff roll, these are just the credits. So there we go, that's data. If you go online, then there we go, leaderboards. And that's pretty much it. You can go on easy, hard, you can go ahead and organize. Yeah, not that, really not that special. And so you have items. Here's another one. So here's where you actually buy all of those UI changes that I was talking about. So you have one that's like your default one, but then you have all of these other new ones. And so there's this third one that I still haven't gotten yet. And you'll know where to get it. It says something something Japanese step 9. And you'll know what that means in a moment. But you go back here. Rhythm skins. Again, there really aren't a lot of them. There are very, very few. And they do take a while to unlock, so it's not like you're gonna get them immediately. But yeah, there you go. There's all of them. And costumes. So there we go. There's a ton of costumes for a game that barely uses them. So again, as I said, there's only a handful of actual songs that you play that entail IA or IA or whatever showing up on an outfit. And there's already an outfit that is predetermined for you to wear, but you gotta go into a separate menu where you can actually change it up. And so a lot of them are unlocked. But, just by naturally playing the game as is. But then there are other stuff that you have to do so you can keep unlocking more of them beyond, beating the game per se. So a lot of them have that whole step 10, step 5, level 48, very easy to figure out how to get them. And so you're seeing all this about steps, so what the hell does that mean? So if you go over here to step up play, this is basically challenge mode. And so you have challenge mode for easy, normal, and hard. And so let's say you go to normal. And so I'm not entirely sure what it says in the costumes. It says something something step 5. So what you could, conjecture in that you need to reach step 5 in at least, one of the 3 difficulties. I don't know what difficulty it is, but, you're probably going to be playing all of them anyway. So, Just get to step 5 of whatever difficulty and you'll end up unlocking stuff eventually. And so there's a maximum of, I think, 20. There's 20 on normal, but I think there's like 15 on easy. And again, you know, you have the girl here with the outfit. You can go ahead and change them if you want. And here's 15, 20, and 25. Yeah, and so all of them get increasingly harder. You know, there's stuff like, you know, just beat the song and get more than B, or get more than an A, or get a perfect score, or whatever. But then there are other ones where it's like, you can only press, like, the circle button in the entire song. You know, miss all the other ones, only press the ones that have circle, or right, or that kind of stuff. A lot of them, you know, involve, like, oh, don't miss, like, a single time. And depending on the difficulty, then that can be fairly demanding. So yeah, I mean, these guys pretty much live up to their title. Easy, normal, and hard. So yeah, none of these are really, a huge challenge until you get to hard, where it's like, you get a perfect score and only press this button. Yeah, it gets a little crazy. And we also have daily play. So daily play is exactly what it means. It's a daily, where you get certain points for meeting a certain amount of requirements. Here it says SS. So, speed +++, which means I guess it's going to be a sped up version of this song. And you have to get a double S rank? I'm not entirely sure. But in any case, if you win, you get 450 points. I'm not going to be playing songs right now. I'm actually going to be showing some pre-recorded footage of me playing through a bunch of songs. Because whenever I'm doing commentary and I have to like focus on the rhythm game, then it's fairly difficult. So I don't want to be distracted and, you know, like be all quiet and then kind of like talk and stutter and like get stuck. So no, I'm going to be playing a recording of what I'm about to play. And then I'll just commentate over it later on. So that's why I kind of want to go through most of the main menu stuff before I even begin to actually play the rhythm game. So you have daily play, you have my list play, which I find it kind of useless, but it might be fun for some people. So basically, here's a song list right now that you know, while we're at it. You can press L and R, so you can choose all of your different difficulty levels. Of course, the game kind of starts you off on easy and normal. You can do hard whenever you want, but the thing is, you pretty much have most songs already readily available to you on easy. But you have to beat all of them at least on normal if you want to get all of the ones that are on hard. You cannot play any songs in hard until you beat these songs at least once on normal. And so there's a huge variety here. There's a lot of huge variety. The entire first half of the songs, like the first 30 songs, are actually pretty creative. There's a lot of diversity and they're really nice. Actually, a lot of the softer songs seem to be more creative and, you know, intriguing. It's not until the second half where you really start to go into kind of hard mode, where you get like super like da-da-da-da-da, like super really fast, like, you know, like Dance Dance Revolution style songs here. The kind of stuff that you see on like a DDR machine. Very fast, like BPM and all that kind of stuff. And so right here, this is the song list that you see right now. You know, you can either do it like this. I kind of prefer to have it be like tiles. Unfortunately, because you're on the Vita, you can't really touch them. There really aren't any touch controls at all, which can be great for some people and disappointing for some. You can press triangle to change the visual style. You can do it like this. But considering the huge, enormous amount of songs that are available right now, it's a lot better for you to just do it like this, because, you know, it's a lot easier to find stuff, it's a lot easier to navigate, instead of going one by one and just go all the way to the right or all the way to the left to, you know, find the thing that you want. Obviously, you have your ranking right here. You have your rank, you have the name of the song, the name of the artist, and the difficulty level, rated by stars. Also, you can go ahead and organize songs in whatever way you want. You can organize them by, you know, difficulty, or points, or ranking, or, you know, that kind of stuff, or just kind of the order or experience points, or, you know, just a bunch of stuff that you can organize. And so let's say that you want to go into a song. Oh yeah, well, I got the playlist, so let's say that I want to do this one and I want this one. So there we go. I can just press start, and there we go. And so I have these 3 songs set up, normal difficulty, and so you have the settings here. And so if I press this, these are actually the sound effects for whenever you press a button in the game. So you have the little like typical tambourine stuff. Actually, let's go somewhere else where you don't have like music in the background bothering up the place. There we go. So you can do this. Little like tambourine, little like drum hit. Obviously, there are some ridiculous ones, like a cat one. I mean, it's not like Project Diva F, where a lot of them seem very annoying. Again, you can like manipulate the sound for these sound effects, so I have them at 50%, so I can hear them just to see if I'm like on beat, but, you know, they're not loud enough for me to actually bother me. This one is just kind of like a little, like a subtle thump. You can test out the sound if you have triangle on. This one is barely audible. This one sounds like bongos. This one sounds like a clap. This one like a beep, like a cell phone beep. Where's the cat? I'm pretty... Oh, there we go. A dog. You guys can barely hear it, but there you go. Meow. Yeah, so I just have the basic one. And so, you know, you can just start... The loading times are very quick, by the way. Look at that! That was a loading screen. That was instantaneous. And so here I am playing the game. I know I said I wasn't gonna play and do commentary at the same time, but here I am. This is normal difficulty. I'm actually getting very used to the idea of playing on hard, because I haven't played the game for 10 hours and I already beat the entire game on normal. I said, well, let's ramp it up. Let's play on hard, which kind of makes things a little bit difficult for me when I want to go back and play it on easy, because when I play on easy, then, you know, the game is just kind of boring for me, because I'm like, oh, you know, I already beat it on normal, and right now I'm trying to try out levels on hard, so, you know, trying to pull off levels on easy is so, well, easy, that I just kind of get a little bored. But then again, you get into that attitude of, like, you know, if it's difficult, I just want to pass it, right? But then if it's not difficult, then you want to be perfect at it, you know, you want to go, like, 100%. But for some reason, I daydream or I conk out and I just, you know, I'm not paying attention, and I screw it up one time, and so I have, like, 99% completion, and it gets kind of frustrating. And so here we go. So this is basically the gameplay for IAVT Colorful. This is going to be the bigger chunk of the game. This is going to be a huge majority of what you're going to be doing. So you're going to be following along to the little patterns right here. And so obviously, as you saw before, there's this little circle that you have to follow. And so that's kind of like your Guitar Hero track, you know? That's the one place that you have to be looking at so you can see all of the notes coming in. It's not like in Project Diva F where, like, all of the symbols are spread around all over the place and it's kind of difficult to tell where all of the symbols are coming from. No, there's a circle, there's a line, and there's, you know, the symbols that... You see? That's what happened. Because I'm in a playlist, it doesn't give you the score or anything. It just immediately, like, transitions. It transitions to another song. So if you just want to keep playing continuously, kind of like in Rock Band, like Rock Band 2, Rock Band 3, where, you know, people can vote on a song, or, you know, people can, you know, or even like Rock Band, no, Guitar Hero World Tour had a similar thing where, you know, you could just, like, choose, like, 7 songs and just keep playing them continuously. And so the loading, because, the budget for this game really isn't that big, and so the gameplay is fairly simple, though it can get a little bit, you know, jarring at times. It's still, you know, kind of low budget, you know, like, if they really did have the money for it, this game would probably run a whole lot better with, like, 3D rendered environments and all that kind of stuff, instead of having pre-recorded videos that you can find on the internet fairly easily. But, that doesn't stop it from looking pretty beautiful. I mean, very similar to all of the other options that you see in the game, you know? This game, the title of the game, really lives up to its name. It's IAVT Colorful, and so it's very safe to say that this is an incredibly colorful game. I never thought that there would be any game that would surpass the Beatles Rock Band in terms of, like, musical artistic integrity, or, like, just awesomeness in visuals, and, you know, the big variety of, again, you know, just visual style and diversity, and just kind of getting you immersed in the music and along with the visuals that, you know, complement it. I always thought that the Beatles Rock Band was the best of its kind, and that there'd be, like, probably nothing that would ever defeat it. And so I played IAVT Colorful, and I'm very inclined to say that, you know, the Beatles Rock Band has a rival, you know? Pretty safe to say that this is an incredibly colorful game, very colorful, very, very, very enjoyable. The music is also really good. As I said, all of the songs from the first half, they feel very inspired, they feel original, all of them feel very different from each other. It's not until the second half where it's less of a diversity game and more of, you know, trying to challenge you to be like, okay, now we're bringing in the hard stuff, and it's like, you know, like Through the Fire and Flames, you know, where it's less of, like, a good song and more of, like, just try and beat the super duper difficult fast song, which can get a little annoying sometimes, because then most of the songs kind of start to sound the same, in the sense of, like, they all sound like something you'd find in a DDR cabinet. And so in the second half, they kind of try and take it easy, and they try to kind of teach you the basics, you know? Try and teach you, like, you know, the combo chains, and the circle, and the lines, and how the tracks work. I think the maximum that the tracks have actually drifted off on has been, like, maybe 4? Like, 4 lines that you have to follow. And, you know, that's where most of the challenge comes in. The challenge doesn't come from rapidly tapping buttons. It comes more from paying attention. It comes more from, you know, having 4 different places that you have to pay attention to all at once. And you're seeing, like, you know, one track coming towards you, but then you see another line that's, you know, shaped like a heart that is moving, like, way faster than the one that you're currently looking at. So I'm like, am I supposed to pay attention to the other one, or am I supposed to pay attention to this one? But then you find that those lines fuse into one line, and so you're like, oh crap, okay, so the order that I thought they were gonna come in is completely different. So it's a matter of thinking fast and a matter of just kind of being in rhythm. And of course, after you get a hold of the songs and you get a hold of what the song is about, because of course, if you're playing a brand new game with a bunch of songs that you've most likely never heard of before, there are a lot of songs here because I am a big fan of Vocaloid, and I just kind of started getting into IA. Then I was meeting up with a bunch of new songs, but then a lot of songs that I had already listened to before that I liked a lot. And so I kind of had that advantage of, like, I already know the rhythm, I already know the progression. So in terms of rhythm, like, it's easy for me. But if I play it on hard, then you have all of these lines kind of tangling in between each other and entwining, and then being like, okay, so the buttons that I thought I was gonna press, those are not the ones that you press, you know, like, it becomes increasingly more difficult. And so, I would love to just to continue doing the song, but I think I'm gonna stop here. Okay, so, the options here, the first one is resume, the second one is literally just retry. You're just restarting the whole thing. Now, granted, I've never... Oh. Okay, so if you're on a playlist and you hit retry, it starts you off from the beginning, from, like, the first song, you know, not like the song in a playlist, not like the song that you're currently doing. And so if you press the third option, that basically takes you back to the main menu, that you're done, you're quitting. Ironically, the one on the very bottom is the options menu. Like, usually, like, the exit button is at the very bottom. But, yeah, the third one is, you know, quitting, the fourth one is options. And so if I get out of here... So the bigger bulk of you playing is probably going to be either the dailies, the setup, and the free play. Like, these 3 modes are going to be, like, your main thing. So let's actually get into, like, a short song so that you guys can see, like, the scoring and how that looks like. I think, I hate to be repetitive, but I think I'm going to do that other song, this one, because it shows you the length of the song, and it's 1.5 minutes, so it's super duper easy. There are other songs here that are very long. That's actually a disadvantage of the game, considering how this is like a mobile game that you might want to, you know, play in short spurts. The 7.5 long songs can be a little bit daunting at times. So, yeah, for some reason I just clicked on this, but, also, yeah, I mean, huge congratulations on the optimization, because the loading times are pretty much non-existent. There are no loading screens. I mean, there is, but it lasts for like 2 seconds before it takes you into the game. The only moment where I've seen loading screens last a long time is when you're actually going to go from like a video to a, you know, to a video that actually involves 3D rendered backgrounds. Because not all of these are pre-recorded videos. A lot of there are a handful of them that involve the outfits that you collect, where you have like actual like 3D IA like moving around in a full 3D space with like cool visuals and all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, the pre-recorded videos, obviously, you just gotta play an MP4, so, it loads instantaneously, but you have ones like these, where, again, check the sound effects. If you press this button, here's where it takes you over to, you know, the costumes. Here's where you actually select the thing. You can actually receive a trophy for, using and wearing all of the different outfits on songs. And so, obviously, that the experience can be a little bit repetitive because, you are, you know, playing only a few songs that involve the outfits. Actually, they're labeled. All of the ones that don't have, you see that the little thing on the corner that says costumes? Where it says costumes, it means like it's gonna be like a 3D thing. So, there we go. So this one has costumes. This one doesn't, which means like it's gonna be a video. So let's take a look. Let's actually look at all the ones that have costumes and the ones that don't. So 1, you have 2, 3, you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you have 9, you have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So out of the 60-ish songs, there are only 15. So yeah, that's like 1/6 of the soundtrack, which is kind of disappointing, considering how you have like 100 different outfits. You have a ton of outfits, and you have so little songs to use them on, which is a little strange. So, yeah, I mean, let's actually go with one that has, you know, the outfit functionality and all that kind of stuff. Again, after you beat a certain song, you have the option to look at an auto... Oh, actually, if I can just do autoplay, that might be great. So, I haven't tried it yet, but I think this is just autoplay. Like, it just automatically plays without me having to press anything. So that actually defeats the purpose of me doing a pre-recorded video. I can just do this. Or, if you want, you can just not see the game, and you can just do the PV. You can take a look at the video. Can I actually do... I think I can do autoplay on this one. Okay, on the harder mode. Alright, cool. Cool. So yeah, after you beat the song once, you have the option of just watching the video, or you can just watch the song be played automatically. So, I'm gonna see if this works. This is what I, conjectured out of me just kind of figuring it out, but this could easily just not be it. Come on. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm not even pressing any buttons. Awesome. So, I'm just gonna see this autoplay. I'm just gonna pretend that I'm perfect, and that I'm just really pro. I'm just really, really good at playing this game. Alright then, so now that I'm just watching this happen, I guess now I can actually begin me talking about the music videos. And I'll try and talk as much as possible, because copyright scares me. So seeing, you know, all of these Japanese properties and all these Japanese songs and stuff, you know, show up and you know, be audible and stuff, I'm kind of afraid that I might get flagged or something, or get a content ID. I most likely already have a content ID, but I'll deal with it. I'll try and talk as much as possible to meet up this, the songs and the music. But, anyway, so this is basically what you're gonna be doing. I mean, there's a lot of moments where you hold down the buttons at the same time. There's those little swirly buttons that you see. Actually, now that I'm not pressing any buttons, I can use my cursor. Haha, I can use my hand. Alright, so, you have these little things happening all around. So you're seeing colorful, right? They're like these little moments. If you take a look, if you take the time to look up here, there's a little bar. There's a little black bar. And it has these little arrows that keep moving on. So that's basically your music progression. That is you, moving along the song. And so there are some red parts here in the middle of the song. And so that's basically like, I don't want to call it star power, but it's basically your star power. You know, those moments where you take advantage of the opportunity, where the game goes into like this special mode where like this little circle becomes giant. And so you have to press it to the beat of the music as always, but all of the notes that you hit inside of the circle actually increases your points. So depending on how well you press those little swirly buttons that you see from time, yeah, there we go. That little swirly one. If you do it right, if you get a cool on that one, like that one, there we go, there's another one. If you get a cool on those, then that increases your probability of getting higher points. So if you don't hit all of them, then you have like, you know, 1.8 times the points. But if you get a 100%, that is twice the points. You can see like X 2.0 right there. And you can see your chain and everything. Over here at the bottom right screen, you can see your score constantly moving and changing. And so right here at the bottom left, you can see the title of the song. And even lower than that, you can see the lyrics. Now, of course, if you know Japanese, you can read the lyrics. But if you're somebody like me who doesn't know Japanese, then you will not be able to read the lyrics. Obviously, in Project Diva F, that was a problem, because that was a game released in America that didn't have English subtitles, but this is a Japanese-only game released only in Japan, and if you want it, then you have to import it from somewhere else, so it is only natural that you wouldn't be able to read any of this. Right here in the upper right-hand corner, you have your timer. This is how long the song will last. Of course, most of these things you're not going to be paying any attention to, because, you're going to be basically paying attention to all this crap right here. You know? And of course, as I said, the game is very colorful, very good looking visually. The 3D model for IA actually is probably the worst part of the whole thing. I mean, all of the backgrounds, all of the different graphics, the text, you know, like this little circle thing that's like bursting with light and rainbow and arrows and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty fun to look at. I really, really like it. I mean, again, you know, very, very similar to the Beatles Rock Band, where you have, less like backgrounds and more like dreamscapes. More like these kind of trippy, light color modes. Yeah, you see like all of this, and, you know, it looks really, really beautiful. And even though this is not as good as Project Diva F, that has like fully choreographed like dance movements and 3D rendered backgrounds, and all of it is running all in like one thing, and there's like, yeah, it looks very cohesive and pretty cool. I mean, this is still pretty good. I mean, all of these videos are videos that you can find on the internet. Some of them are original. Obviously, the 3D rendered ones are obviously original. But, you know, you have this one that I played a moment ago. And so this one is... I think you do actually find it on YouTube. I think I saw it on YouTube at one point. And you have the option of looking at the PV or do autoplay. Of course, you're not going to be paying attention to most of, you know... the videos and what they look like. And I don't think you're supposed to, because, I mean, a lot of the videos don't really make a whole lot of sense. I mean, there's some, like, the pre-rendered videos that are made that just kind of play in the background are pretty cool, and they're a lot more cohesive, and they look cool. But, the 3D rendered ones, like, those are kind of bad, you know, in terms of, you know, trying to tell a story and whatnot. Because, if you guys were actually paying attention to what was happening in the background when I was auto-playing that level, is that there really wasn't a whole lot going on. I mean, there was a visual aspect to it, you know, a lot of, you know, cool graphics and stuff, but I mean, what did you guys actually see in it, you know? It was IA walking around, and she was sad about something for some reason, and then she started running for some reason, and then by the end of the video, she was happy about something. Like, I really don't understand the progression, you know? And it's not like, oh, you know, it's in Japanese, and, you know, there's a lot of Japanese symbols, so you wouldn't get it. No, like, bullcrap. Like, the huge majority of this game, if not the entirety of the game, is almost in English. So, like, there's no reason for me not to understand it, you know? So, I mean, with this one is, you know, this one has got, like, its own deal here. This is like Kill la Kill or something in the music video. It's, like, really, really well animated and really awesome. And it's even got, like, you know, credits and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, the 3D rendered ones, that's basically the formula. You know, IA is upset about something, and then she runs or poses for a little bit, and then the video ends with her being happy about something, you know? Like, what problem did we solve? You know, what story is it telling? You know, I really don't understand what I'm supposed to be looking at there. Not that I was looking to begin with, because, you know, I'm paying attention to the rhythm game. Okay, then, so we got 2 trophies here. We got 2 trophies. One of them gave me 500 points, and another one gave me 100 points. I don't know what the trophies are for. Okay, I got a silver trophy. Not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what those were for, but, you know, I got them. Okay, so I want to give a correction and say that there are, in fact, touch controls in this game. So I'm pressing it with my cursor, and it's working. So I press on this, I press on this, I press on this. How about the difficulty? Yeah, okay, so there are touch controls, but, in terms of the gameplay, in terms of, like, you actually pressing buttons to the rhythm of the music, there are no touch controls. Okay, then, so, let's actually show you another example of, the 3D rendered music, because, yeah, a lot of these really are not, all that, good, in the sense of, like, telling a story, and how clear it is, and, you know, how well animated it is. There are a lot of moments where, like, IA, like, when she's doing stuff, it really isn't all that well animated. It's kind of crappy. Okay, we're going on autoplay. We're doing this. Okay, start. There we go. So I'm gonna put the controller down again, and let's actually go through the video. Let's see what's actually happening, because, I mean, visually, like, everything that isn't focused on IA looks great, you know? And again, you know, as I said, the loading screens are pretty much instantaneous. There's almost no loading. Only, like, the first time around that you choose a video that has a 3D rendered background. It takes a little bit of loading, but aside from that, aside from, like, the one initial load up, like, it never has to do that again, and you have to wait, like, a second and a half, you know? Like, not even that, to be able to, have it load up immediately. Like, even when you boot up the game in general, like, it takes almost nothing to load. Doesn't it ever happen to you that you're, like, playing a game, and it has, like, a million, like, logos, you know? It's like, Havoc Engine, and then EA, and then, like, sponsored by this, and then, like, the engine was made by this guy, and produced by that, and, like, constant little logos, like, fading in and fading out constantly. You're, like, pressing the button, wanting them to go away. Well, here, when you boot up the game, it just says, Marvelous, and then it starts up immediately. So, this is perfect for, like, a portable game, you know? If you're walking around somewhere with your Vita, and you're waiting, or you want to kill some time, you don't have to invest a lot of time in just waiting for the damn game to load up, you know? You just pop it up, you get the logo, and the game just goes. And then when you play a song, it loads up immediately. So, there really is, like, almost zero waiting. I'm impressed, you know, for a game that has a really low budget. Like, this is, like, one of the fastest loading screens I've ever seen in any game this year. And I really appreciate it. Like, that makes a huge difference, in my opinion, of the game, because it'd be really terrible if the loading screens were, like, very long. And, you know, in my portable game where I'm taking it anywhere, and I want to play it in short spurts, I'm wasting more time in the loading than I am playing the game. But, you know, that's not happening here. Especially, you know, for a lot of Vita games, you know, for games that have, like, PS4 versions, and then they get ported over to Vita, usually that's the problem, you know, loading screens and having it optimized. Here, this is Vita exclusive. You know, it was made and designed for Vita, and it shows, because visually, Looking at it on a TV, looking at it on a small little like OLED screen, it looks absolutely beautiful, looks really, really great. Except for these bits, I mean, everything that has IA on it is kind of unclear. Like, look at this, look at what's happening right now in the background. Like, don't pay attention to the game, just pay attention to the video. You know, like, look at her. I mean, maybe there's something that I'm missing with the lyrics. Maybe because I can't read the lyrics, I can't understand what's going on. I'm seeing a lot of pills. But look at this. I mean, this is just IA, like, kind of staring off into nothing. She's looking upset about something. Yeah, and, like, now she's falling. Now she's falling, and she doesn't look all that phased. She's thinking about something. She's, like, reaching out to something. Like, very, very kind of cliche, very stereotypical, like, Japanese music video kind of thing. Especially, like, anime-style Japanese music video. This looks like those opening and ending sequences to an anime, but a bad one, you know, that doesn't really tell you anything. And again, you know, I could literally be talking out of my ass and, you know, have it be like, okay, well, maybe this is very connected to the song. So if I actually knew Japanese and I knew what the song meant, you know, or what it symbolizes, then maybe I'd know. But again, you know, like, the simple fact that I can't get through it visually is already, you know, speaking volumes over how badly it communicates, you know? I feel like all of the good music videos translate well, no matter what language it's in, you know? That's why film is mostly a visual media. A visual medium, I mean. Because, you know, it's more visual than anything else. You see, now IA is angry. Like, why is she angry? She's pissed off about something. She's surrounded by pills, and now she's flying again, just like before. So, like, I really don't understand what the hell is what's going to happen, what's supposed to happen, why is this happening? Now she's happy. I guess it's supposed to be some symbolism to her, to, like, drug abuse or something. She's surrounded by pills, so she's happy. Then she didn't have the pills, so now she's angry. I really don't know. And now I think the video is gonna end with, like, her, like, zooming out. Yeah, like, she's inside the pill the entire time. She was the pill the entire time. I really don't know. And then, like, again, just recycling the same shot over and over again. And there we go, recycle the same shot a third time. I don't know what they were trying to get at with this. And again, recycling it a fourth time. So yeah, that's basically the formula, you know? IA is sad, and then she, like, flies around and walks or whatever, and then by the end of it, she's happy. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to get out of that. There are other ones that don't have IA at all. They just flat out, like this one, Crystal Prism, by the Anent Guard Eyes. This one is just flat out, like, trippy Beatles rock band. Like, I just took, like, five hallucinogenic drugs at the same time, and now I'm seeing a bunch of colors, you know? I think I'll show the autoplay for this one. This one is kind of crazy. Yeah, this one is kind of, it's kind of insane, and it goes very well with the music. Like, this is actually one of my favorite ones from the whole game. And so again, as you can see, the lines are, like, forming little shapes and stuff. Like, it's not just like the one line. It's not like Guitar Hero where it's just like the one track. Like, all of the lines form different shapes. And so sometimes, you know, right now you're seeing them fly straight, but eventually they're gonna start, you see, they're gonna start, you know, going up and down. They're gonna change their order, they're gonna change their speed, and they're gonna do their best to try and fool you and to try and make it look like an idiot when you miss your combo. And so I've been trying this game on easy, normal, and hard. Well, I've barely tried easy because it's easy, but I've tried normal 100%, and now I'm delving deep into hard. And there we go. Here are all the trippy visuals. So I've been delving into hard, and it is a little bit challenging. And again, as I said, it's less about how fast you can tap the buttons and more about how much you can pay attention, you know? And so I've been paying attention quite a lot, and I have not lost the game once. As a matter of fact, I don't know if there is a way to actually lose in this game. There have been many moments where I failed a lot to the point where I felt like I should have gotten kicked out of the game already. But there really, like, there's no bar, there's no, like, progression meter, there's no nothing that tells you if you're doing well or if you're doing badly. I guess you kind of just measure that for yourself. Especially when you're in free play, I guess because I'm in free play, the game doesn't really, like, kick you out a lot at all. But again, you know, same goes for, like, step up play and the challenge mode and like the dailies and all that kind of stuff. There's no thing that tells me, like, hey, you know, you're screwing up, you're stopping. But you do get graded at the end, so maybe if you don't get graded favorably, you can't unlock stuff, you know? Because they're really having a lot of moments where it's like, unless you get this score or unless you get that, you know, you can't unlock the song, or, you know, you don't have enough points to level up or whatever. That kind of stuff. I mean, it seems very, very easy. The game seems very easy in general if you know what you're doing. as soon as you start understanding this, you know, as soon as you start understanding, like, the structure of how everything moves around and how everything works, and as soon as you learn how to ignore the video in the background, because, I mean, if you go to the options screen, if that really is a huge problem for you, then what you can do, I mean, see, this is the brightness. I mean, you can just make it, like, really dark. Like, if you really are distracted by the video and you do not want to be distracted at all, then you can just keep continuing on. There's a timer for when you resume. That's pretty good. That's kind of a callback to, like, Rock Band and Guitar Hero and all those. Because I hate it that when I'm in a rhythm game and I unpause and I'm like in the middle of pressing a button and I just lose my rhythm, and that combo they were working so hard to get is lost. And so I like this. This is really convenient and this is really nice because there are many moments where, like, the visuals in the background really overtake what's happening in the foreground, you know? Even with this big giant ball of, like, rainbow light, many times, like, it's still overtaken by, like, all of the trippy stuff that is happening in the background. So if I put it all the way to 4, all the way to the maximum setting, then you see it's gonna intrude a whole lot more. You see, like, look at that, like, all of that yellow already. Now, the big advantage of having the ball here is that, most of the time, it doesn't really get in the way of the video, you know? I mean, naturally, it has to, like, not get in the way of the video, while at the same time, you know, having it be nice and spacious for you to use, you know? Like, it changes around all the time. I like that it's not like a ball in the center, or, you know, like, it's just fixed on one area. The ball moves everywhere. It moves from the left to the right to the top, and sometimes it even sneaks its way in. Or, you know, all of these little lines form different shapes and form, like, heart shapes and circles and, like, spikes and triangles and all that kind of stuff. I like how creative they get with their limited resources of just, like, a ball and a bunch of lines, you know? And then, you know, seeing all of these different, like, notes kind of moving from one side to the other. It makes it challenging, you know? It makes it way more challenging than, like, your average, like, Guitar Hero or Rock Band, because at least in those games, you know where the notes are gonna come from. You know that, okay, they're gonna come from the top all the way to the bottom, and I know how to hit them. But here, it's like, okay, you got, like, this little swervy line, then you have this other one that has, like, a lot of spikes, and this one, the one on the left, is going faster than the one on the right, and you gotta be careful, you gotta see which one comes first, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it can get a little challenging in that sense, but again, you know, it's more about paying attention rather than, actually being fast enough or skilled enough, you know? And, the entire first half of the songs are fairly soft and not that difficult. So, yeah, I mean, usually you'd expect something like super hard rock, you know, something like this. You know, like Racer's High or something like that. But then you come across really soft songs that end up being more memorable because they stick out so much, you know, something like this. Or something like this. Or, you know, something like this. And so, yeah, the difficulty can be pretty sparse. And again, even like when the difficulty just from the songs themselves, you know, with like their star ratings and stuff. But then you change the actual like easy, normal, hard, and you know, you can just keep changing it around as much as you please. You're gonna spend a lot of time with this game. I mean, I kind of blazed through the whole game as fast as possible, and that's just me playing through on normal, just normal. And I got 10 hours out of that. So try and, you know, beating through the entire game on hard, and then failing and having to try again, and then doing the challenge mode and trying to, you know, work hard to get all of those, you know, outfits that you can get by leveling up. And then, you know, the simple fact that there's a song that you like, and so you play it like 5 times, you know? And if you just want to play casually and you're not really there for the points, you can just create a playlist and you can keep on playing. Let's see, I really don't have much else to say. What else is there? Oh, one thing, another thing, speaking about the visuals, so you have the 3D rendered, stuff, and then you have the pre-recorded videos. I would really want to applaud this game for its diversity in visuals, because, all of them could easily be like the typical anime route, right? But then you have stuff like, you know, this kind of animated anime kind of thing, it looks kind of chibi, manga sort of stuff, and then you have black and white, and then you have like, you know, 1980s YouTube video kind of thing. Like, if YouTube existed in the 80s and there were music videos for them, it probably looked like this. And then there's like really like super duper colorful, like, you know, that actually do tell stories and they actually do kind of sort of make a little bit of sense. You know, you have, you know, stuff like this. It has like an introduction, it has a title. I mean, it has that kind of stuff. And it has some nice movement. It even has like credits and, you know, talking about the editor. And if you know Japanese, you can take a look at the lyrics. I mean, I can only assume that these are the lyrics. I mean, maybe this is just text that has nothing to do with, You know, that kind of stuff. And so the animation style for most of these videos are a little weird. I mean, they don't really move like in your typical anime way, but they're interesting. Again, they all feel very kind of comic book style. And if it's not comic book, then it's more storybook style as well. I mean, it is very distinguished. But at the same time, you know, all of these videos you have seen on YouTube. If you're a fan of IA, you have most likely seen all these videos on YouTube already. And so these are shown in the background of these, you know, of these songs when you're playing them. And again, you know, the good videos, you know, show, you know, that you can understand the story, you can kind of tell what's going on just by looking at it, you know, rather than, you know, seeing this 3D model of a girl, you know, kind of running around in a very badly animated way, you know, being upset about something and then being happy about something. Here, you can very much tell, you know, like, there's this kind of tomboy girl, this kind of not feminine at all, she's angry, she's kind of brooding, she doesn't really care for many people, she's kind of here in her own little old world. But then there's this other guy here who's really nice and friendly to this girl, and so she's wondering, maybe I'm falling in love, but I don't want to fall in love because, you know, that, I don't know, that's for stupid people, I don't know, no idea. She's not interested in that kind of stuff, but then she keeps coming across all these situations where she has to be with this guy. I'm assuming, you know? And of course, all of these characters actually do transcend into other videos, which is a little strange. I guess there's some sort of, you know, not coherence, but, like, a lot of these characters kind of transcend into other videos, both in this game and I think in the IA Project YouTube channel as well. Like, I don't know if these are characters that come from a different anime, I don't know if these are original characters, I have no idea. But you do see these guys in other different occasions aside from, like, this one music video. So, let's get out of here. No, wait, these are options. Okay, let's get out of here. So that's one visual style. But then there are other ones who, like, the super duper trippy one that I showed you. And then there's others that just simply show, you know, the lyrics, or some of them look like rain, some of them are like very like crude, like pencil drawings. One of my favorite ones is actually this one. Is this girl that has laser eyes. I think this is gonna be the last one that I'm gonna show, and then I'm gonna call it, because I'm really running out of stuff to say here. But yeah, I mean, this is a good opportunity to kind of show off the diversity in art style. Now this is a little bit more, you know, this should be more familiar to people that like more modern anime, because, you know, a lot of the art styles have more of the old style anime that has kind of more detail, the characters look more adult, and, you know, that kind of stuff. But here, you know, very much, you know, very soft, very light, you know, very big, bright, popping colors. And so you're playing this on a Vita, and my god, it looks beautiful, it looks really, really cool. Bah! The girl has lasers. And so again, you know, even in the pre-recorded videos, some stories don't really come off as clearly as you might expect, you know? Because your videos, and, you know, these originally showed up on the internet, so they all vouch on, you know, their own individual value, you know? Like, these are not necessarily created to complement the game, but, you know, they're just kind of placed here because, you know, this is the music video that the artist created for their song. The 3D rendered ones, again, you know, they kind of just have to improvise. It's like when you're playing Project Diva F, and they don't really have a music video. It's kind of like Hatsune Miku on a stage and she dances, you know? And you can very much tell, like, oh, you know, this is like this pop diva idol, you know, like recording a music video or something, you know, dancing or like doing a concert. You know, at least there you can understand, you know, okay, so naturally she'd be dancing and doing like a dance number or something like that, you know, or sometimes accompanied by other people. And then just have like really nice visuals surrounding her. But here, in this IA game, it seems like for every single song, they're trying to tell a story, you know? And every single time when it's 3D rendered, I really don't understand what's going on, you know? And then there's only like 2 of them that are like, you know, that are like in that kind of Hatsune Miku type of style, where it's like, she's just dancing, you know, in this kind of music video thing with cool visuals. But most of them are like that, you know, like very kind of broody, like, oh man, I'm so sad about this thing, and then I'm gonna run away! Run away from what? I don't know if I'm running away from something, maybe I'm running towards something. Or, oh, I'm staring off into like this like, you know, building, or staring off into this thing that has a lot of light on it, or like, I know, I'm turning around dramatically, and then suddenly I'm smiling and happy. I'm like, what are they trying to communicate? I really have no idea. That's why, even though these are pre-recorded videos that are not like, you know, original for the game or not rendered in-engine, they're still good, you know, and they communicate a lot more here than they do the 3D rendered ones. I mean, from this one, you know, it's still very easy to tell, you know, even though it gets a little crazy at the end, you know? It's a girl that for some reason gets laser powers. She can shoot laser out of her eyes, and she just can't control it. She was in school, and she shot lasers, and then somehow getting glasses just remedies that for some reason. And then, like, she ended up, like, destroying a bunch of things, and now, like, the government is out to get her. And then this one guy who has a sick afro. I'm assuming that, again, you know, the girl burned that guy's hair, hence why he has, like, the funky student afro. But, you know, I guess he is the only guy that understands her or something. And so he's like, oh, you know, all of these moments, no, I want to help you, but, no, you're shooting me a laser. Nah, don't worry about it, it's okay, I still love you. You know, at least there you can kind of get, like, a basic gist of it, you know? Oh, and then here's where it gets really crazy. For some reason, you get, like, the Universal Pictures music here. Like, da-da-da-da-da. 20XX, into the future, far, too far. Like, what is this supposed to be? I don't know. In any case, you know, the pink-haired girl got way hotter. Apparently, she's going out with this guy now, and she's shooting lasers to her heart's content. I guess they went off into space. I have no idea. But, yeah, a lot of the music is really catchy. A lot of the music is really cool. And if you're a fan of Vocaloid, you already recognize most of these songs anyway. So, yeah, there you go. That in a nutshell is IAVT Colorful. What do I think about it? I think it's a really good game. I mean, we already have a lot of rhythm games on Vita. I mean, one of the genres that the Vita is known very well for is probably indie games, RPGs, fighting games, and rhythm games. There are a lot of rhythm games. And so, right now, in the wake of, you know, having stuff like, you know, Project Diva F2nd, you even have, like, the Senran Kagura one, you got, like, even Patapon and all that kind of stuff. It's tough competition. You know, like, it's not easy to, like, you know, stand and be a, you know, pop off, in between, you know, Project Diva F and Patapon, and then, like, in Japan, you have, like, Taiko Drum Master and all that kind of stuff. It's difficult to be known. And so, I feel like this is a very, very good attempt at trying to make something substantial, at trying to make something cool. You still have some DLC that you can download, or you can buy, you can play more songs, and of course, you know, you can play them in free play, maybe they'll show up in daily play, I'm not entirely sure, you can use them on a playlist. You can keep getting points to rack up, you know, more levels and keep getting more items. This game is packed. This game has a lot of stuff to do in it. And a lot of songs to play as well. And, you know, again, if you're tired, there are like 4 DLC packs that you can get. They're all pretty meaty. I think every pack has 4 songs. So, yeah, there's like a total of maybe, what, like 12 or 16 songs? So, yeah, there's a lot. There really is a lot. Don't quote me on that, by the way. It's been a long while since I last looked at the PSN store, so maybe I don't know. I'm wrong on that. But there is DLC, and there are 4 songs for every pack. And if you want to, you can just get them individually. You don't have to buy all of them all at once. You could just get, like, you know, one song for maybe, like, 400 yen. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, you don't need to get a PlayStation Network. You don't have to get a Japanese account for this, you know? If you, really want to play this, and you do have a Japanese account, you can download it digitally on the PSN store, or you can do the thing that I did, and you can try and import it from either PlayAsia or Amazon or what have you. And you can get a physical copy of it, which is what I recommend. It's just more comfortable and nicer, and the game loads up instantaneously. Like, it's just a cool package all around. You got free play, challenges, dailies, playlists, items, leaderboards, data options. You can change your UI. It's just a solid game. I wouldn't say that it's, you know, really great. I mean, again, you know, if I had to choose between, you know, this game and this game, I'd probably, you know, gear a little bit more towards Hatsune Miku, simply because there's way more diversity here. There's a lot more DLC, there are more characters, there are more voices, there are the different genres, and of course, the overall production quality is way superior. But again, they have a bigger budget. This is marvelous. This is the Senran Kagura people that we're talking here. So, you know, they were involved in making, like, Onishambara, Having a Hero, all that kind of stuff, you know, so obviously, like, their games have always been relatively small scale, you know, they never made anything giant, and so making something like this, which is very far from their comfort zone, like, I've never heard of Marvelous ever making a rhythm game, but, you know, for a first attempt, it was really, really good. I mean, I feel like they should make more rhythm games, especially for Vita, because, again, people always keep ragging on the Vita, saying that there aren't any games for it, when they're absolutely wrong. There are a ton of games for it, and this is one pretty big example. even if this is Japan only, this is still pretty goddamn good. This is substantial. This is a good package. I like the songs. I'm not a big fan of the 3D rendered things. I think a lot of that stuff is very poorly animated. The story that they're trying to convey is kind of incomprehensible. Is more of the visual style of the videos and the story that those videos tell and all of the different art styles that are involved is the thing that really makes this game, that really makes it stand out and pop out from stuff like, you know, Project Diva F. Because in Project Diva F, you know, they're all different, but, you know, they all have, like, the same little consistent art style. You know, all the characters and all the scenarios kind of look the same. They're just different settings. But here is literally like one artist has like a kind of like a black and white manga style, and then there's like this other one that's like super like red and aggressive, and then there's other one that's like Beatles rock band trippy ass stuff, and then there's another one that has like a girl with lasers, and this other one is like modern anime kind of style. So yeah, really good. I highly recommend it. If you guys like rhythm games, and if you guys are looking for a cool, good Japanese game to import, then IAVT Colorful is a pretty colorful game to go get. Yeah, it's really good. All right then, that does it for me. So you will be seeing my review of this game when this video comes out. I will be releasing the review and the video at the same time. So yeah, when it comes out, you can go to the description and check out my written review for that, which is basically this in a nutshell. But you know, if you guys don't like to read, you can watch the video, and if you guys don't like to watch videos, then you can read. You know, I'm pretty much making it available for everybody. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and of course subscribe, so you guys can stay updated on everything that's been going on. Like that, you'll never miss a single thing when a brand new video comes out. I'm the Hat Person, and this has been Checking Out IAVT Colorful. Enjoy the game. I highly recommend it. The Vita really needs a lot of love right now, and I think this is the best way to get it. If you want to find something new, just like how I did, when I first heard of IA, I didn't know where to start, and this is basically like a best-of album, you know? A really big 60-track best-of album. So I'm gonna go and buy the DLC, and I'll keep on playing. So, yeah. Thank you for listening. Bye.